So, what I want to talk about today, first, for those of you who are new in the group, I want to welcome you and just introduce myself. My name is Bari Lyman, and I'm the creator of Meet to Marry, Get Unstuck in Love. That is a transformational dating method that permanently removes dating and relationship blocks so that you could open up and summon your soulmate. And summoning your soulmate means you're not just sitting back waiting for it to happen, but you're empowered and you're making that happen. And I've helped more than 1,000 amazing, high achieving singles to make it happen. And I'm so delighted to be speaking with you today about a topic that many of you may be wondering about, like, stop the optimism. Like, well, what am I supposed to be, right? So I want to talk to you about how optimism can actually be keeping you from finding love. So when we go out there in the dating world, it feels for many of us like really, really hard, right? Divorce, breakups, uh, not knowing. I read all the things that you guys send to me when you join the group, how to meet high quality partners, how to know when to end a date, when to give up, where to go, right? How to meet people who don't just want to have sex with you, right? So after all of that, uh, for many, it's really hard to be optimistic, and then for others, they go on to a cycle of ups and downs of dating, the ups and the downs, the heartbreak to the to optimism. And what I want to share with you today is related to my specific life, because my life and my trauma and relationship problems, I find are just like what you guys experience. So I just to start at the beginning, I had a trauma in childhood, a bipolar father, a mother who was very in the box and limited. And needless to say, I didn't get really good modeling. And so, starting at 12 years old, I started therapy. You may or may not know that. And so, I didn't know, I was clueless about love, about healthy love, but I knew I wanted it. I knew I craved it. And so starting therapy so young, going all by myself, um, I made poor choices. And the first poor choice I made was I got involved with someone who looked handsome and charming and successful, but he turned out to be a closet drug addict, meaning it wasn't like outward. He wasn't like a heroin addict on the street, but in fact, he was a heroin addict. But it took time to develop, and he had anger issues and all kinds of problems that were definitely red flags. But nonetheless, I stayed because I didn't know better. And then I was still working on myself and doing 12-step programs and energy healing and all kinds of things. And I would get into the next relationship after I finally broke myself out of that one. Then I would go to someone who seemed so much better, and maybe they were better, but they were still wrong. Not the right religion, didn't share my values, didn't share my vision, couldn't deeply see me, and so on and so on. My relationship history. Then the next narcissist, next emotionally unavailable. And I talked a few weeks ago about narcissists, and where we should really be looking is within ourselves. So because I wanted love so badly, and I kept trying, and I would stay in relationships that really made no sense. And then when I would get out, the dating made no sense. And because I was optimistic, I was always optimistic. So who can relate to being really optimistic? Now, I think you can't leave comments because of this new Facebook thing, but um, but let me know. Let me know. So it's like I was so optimistic that things would get better, that things would change. He'll change, it'll change. But they didn't, and they weren't going to, because there was nothing that happens that would have made things different. I was just what's called, and here's the problem, delusionally optimistic. Who can relate to feeling optimistic, but there's no plan. There's no real way that things are going to change. So who here feels like, oh, well, I'm a good person. It has to work out. I'm a spiritual person. Oh, I just believe it'll just work itself out. That is why what we're talking about today is why optimism could totally be keeping you from finding love. This optimism does not allow us to see things as they really are. What happens is the delusion is that we think it'll just get better with time, but it doesn't. Or we think that we just hope like it has to. And when it has to get better, it'll get better, it'll get better. Without a plan, what does that remind you of? It'll get better, it'll get better. I hope it will. I'm so good. It's like magical thinking. And I want to pull you out of magical thinking. Oh, but he's so nice. Oh, but this. Or you're dating wrong people. Like you keep attracting the same wrong people, right? Things always turn out to be the same. Or you just, you know, give up. So even after giving up, it's like, I want to help you to not take years and years off from dating or get into relationships that should never have happened. They were non-starters, but you were there for 2 years. You were there for 3 years, or you think, oh, we're gonna read a book together, and that'll make it okay. When foundationally, the relationship was not right to begin with. I had a mentor who said to me, you know, Bar, the best parts of you is that you see the best in people. And the worst parts of you, your worst quality, is that you see the best in people. So what happens with delusional optimism is that it's just that, it's delusional. And I'm sure you do not run other areas of your life this way in delusion, right? Imagine running a business where you have no customers and you don't have sales or marketing, but oh, I'm a nice person. They'll just come. Build it and they'll come. Think good and they'll be good. But can you see how you don't do that? Like that would be delusional. So when we're in that state, what I want you to know, it's you're a good person. I get it. You deserve love. I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that you deserve love. And everyone deserves love. But between the deserving and the readiness and the preparedness is a big gap, right? Like if you want to lose weight, what do? We go on the scale. I weigh this, but I really want to weigh this. And so each day I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And I set a goal. And right. So with love, for some reason, we often think like, oh, I should know this. But like, how could you know it when you've never had it? I was speaking with someone and she said she just broke up with someone who she thought was her soulmate because he was like autistic on the spectrum. And she said, like, the whole time it felt like something wasn't right. But nonetheless, he said the words, but that feeling was missing. Something was off. But that's the gap. She didn't know what was off. So she couldn't diagnose it. And 2 years or 3 years of her life went by. And then when we talked about it more deeply, she knew that her father was on the spectrum. Like, surprise, surprise, right? And a lot of her friends are too. So, doesn't it stand to reason that if we see a pattern that, we don't want to be delusional about it, we want to become real and practical about it and take off what I call, many of you have heard me talk about this, but take off those rose colored glasses. But why is it really hard for us to take off those rose colored glasses? Honestly, it's hard because we're afraid and we're wounded and we don't want to be alone. So it's kind of more convenient to either stay in bad situations or get out of bad situations and then say, oh, I'm not doing this ever again. So it's kind of like throwing out the baby with the bathwater. And then I talked to a lot of high achieving women, and they're like, they have no idea what to do when it comes to dating. And they're just biding their time. I don't know what to say. And when is the right time to tell the person my vision? I don't really want to scare them off. And is it too soon? These are all questions when in business and in other areas, we don't have those questions. We know what to, and if we don't know what to, we get help to figure it out. So so basically, my message to you is this. It's good to be optimistic. It's good. I am all for high vibration, positivity. That's healthy. But it's not healthy when you do what I did or what many of you do, which is, again, stay confused and be in delusion and just think that there's going to be a little tweak, but there's no little tweak. What I want you to know is that when we choose a life mate, a husband, a soulmate, a person to marry, this is not to be taken lightly. And it's also not something to be avoided, but there are things that we need to know. And there's so much that's elusive to us. And so it's very important to, one, first off, I want you to be in reality. So in our program, A Clear Path to True Healthy Love, we have healthy mantras that we learn to live by that are aligned with really healthy thinking, really healthy thinking. And healthy thinking is not delusional. Okay. So one of those mantras, and I want you to write it down, is called reality. Don't leave home without it. So what does that mean? So I want you today to take inventory on how your love life really is going. How is it really going? And look, I see those of you in the group, how's your dating going? 0 to 0, 1, 4 on a scale of 0 to 10. So tell the truth. One is, are you willing to have a dating life that's a 0? Because some of our coping mechanisms say, I don't want to get into another bad relationship. I'm not going to do that. I'd rather be alone. Do you say that? Put that in your inventory. Like, how often do you find yourself saying that? Now, I understand you don't want to be in a bad relationship. But when you say, I don't want to be in a bad relationship, I'd rather be alone, what happens is that puts you in a box and in a category of, self-protection, like bubble wrap. And that leaves you not that many choices. People go back to dating and they say, oh, my heart's not really in it. So if you're doing something, your heart's not in it. Do you go to work and your heart's not in it? Do you raise kids and your heart's not in it? Do you have friends where your heart's not really in it? And what do you think happens? Let's say you want to lose weight, quit smoking, and your heart's not in it. You think you're going to quit? How's it going to go? And I know that it's not going to go. So if you're dating with your heart not in it because your heart is wounded and you have trust issues, well, you're going to get what you're going to get. And then you're going to say, there's no one out there worth dating. Because when we have trust issues, we attract people that we can't trust. It's just how it works. And then we say, oh, I'd rather meet people organically. Why? It's the same people online and offline. Like, you can trust them because you can see them in person. How could that be? If you can't trust them, meeting them in person versus meeting on an app won't change anything because the people on the apps are just like you and me. Okay. So I want you to be an observer and really write down for yourself, what's the deal with me? What am I putting out? And am I lying to myself about it? So it's not about not being optimistic, but it's about being grounded and in reality. Number two, I would ask yourself, like, how skilled am I at finding people? How skilled are you at finding people? Meaning, like, what do? Do you go online? You throw up, you throw a profile, and then you're swiping, and then you get tired of it, and then and how does it make you feel? You're dating. How does it make you feel? Most people tell me it makes them feel super frustrated. It makes them feel disappointed. It makes them feel anxious. So that speaks to, again, a skill set, a skill set. And while you might be saying, oh, how can you learn how to find the right people? And the answer is yes, you can, right? But it takes not like, oh, it has to work itself out. It has to. No, it'll get better. I just believe that it will. Fine. But belief without action doesn't really change anything. And remember, our own blind spots and trauma and the noises and the stories we heard. You don't need a man, or don't trust men, or I can't trust a man, or I can't trust this kind of a man, or men only want sex from me. Dating sites only have those kind of men. Well, here's what I want you to know. That is not true. It's not true. Dating apps, whether you meet online or offline. And to tell you my story is that I dated, starting with the drug addicts, right? Only men that turned out to be that way, but they didn't look that way. So you might say, oh, but it's always good in the beginning. That's right. It is always good at the beginning. But just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. What's good is good love. What's good is getting into this reality-based mode where you're not avoiding it. I mean, some of you are listening and you're like, you say you want to get married and have children, but you're too scared to pull the trigger and do something about it, because there is a big payoff, everyone. in staying either in delusional optimism. Why? Because everyone's like, oh, she's so positive, or he's so positive. Oh, and then we get sympathy. Such a good person. Why doesn't she have someone? Why? Because under all that positivity lies a lot of pain and shame and unresolved stuff. Even if you, again, go to therapy or you meditate or you do all these right things, I know I did, energy healing, past life regression, landmark, Tony Robbins, the whole thing. But so what? I liked being around that because it fed my optimism. It fed my delusional optimism. But after all those things, where was I? Either in a dead end relationship where there was no future, or alone. And neither one is what I wanted. So if you want something different, then get into reality. I want you to be positive. I want you to be optimistic, definitely. But not where you're like just fooling yourself that it's working or that it's just going to get better with time. Time does not solve this thing because we have wounds and unresolved things and limited beliefs and lack of education, not knowing how to use the tools to bring in the right person. Then when you date people, to ask and share the right questions to how to end something that isn't going. I mean, there's layers of what we need to know. And so there's a better way. There's a better way. I want you to know that love is waiting for you. And I share this from my own story. And I want to share, I could tell you so many stories, but I get messages from clients like all the time, like every day. And one of the sweetest ones is, oh, good morning, Barry. It is me. I'm texting to inform you that I found true love since February 4th. I am happy, fulfilled, and effortlessly thriving. Thanks, Barry. All you teach is pure reality. It's happened for me. I thank the universe. I saw it manifesting and boom, it was here. God bless you. I'm so happy. So glad I did the work. So I want you to understand that doing the right things with the right heart set, mindset, skill set that are comprised in a plan changes everything. And so put these things into action in your life. And if you want to have help to do that, like in a real plan that where your hands is held, and like I tell you guys, I enjoy working with high performers because they like to have a plan. A plan meaning set a goal, do these actions, shift things, right? Do things, got it, got it, got it, handled. Oh my God. Everyone's like, oh my God, I didn't know that. No one told me that. I never saw it. That is what we do when you have help and a mentor. And our program is called A Clear Path to True Healthy Love. And if that's something that you want help with, then by all means, I'll put in the chat the link. We could set up a quick 15-minute call, look at your dreams, your goals, and really see if this plan is the right plan for you at this time. And besides, I love getting to know everyone, whether you work with us or you don't work with us. This is my passion. So again, I'd love to know, since you can't chat, we'll fix that next, what this means to you. So definitely you can make a post, or I'm going to ask you, I'm going to make a post for you to tell me what this meant for you. I'll put it under this recording. What did it mean to you to know that you can get out of delusional optimism? You can get grounded. You can create boundaries. You can really get into reality. You can be an observer and start to see the gaps instead of just, it has to happen. It has to, because that's little girl, little boy thinking. So again, it was so amazing being with you today. We do this every week, and I think I might move this to 1 o'clock, but we will keep you posted. And if you are watching the recording, it happens every week in this group. And definitely let me know how this resonates. If you like it, please invite friends. People deserve to have the right, real information. And I mean, there's so much superficiality out there. And the Golden Bachelor, like I was reading yesterday, got divorced after 3 months. Why? There was no real foundation, right? It's just hype. We have clients that get married in their 60s and 70s. Only those are soulmate connections. And you can definitely have that. So definitely tell your friends, come back next week, and book your session if you feel like you want to learn more about having a clear path to true healthy love. All right, guys, believing in you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week.
Group. So I'm just going to go and grab the link here, and I'm going to type that, and I'm going to save it. So now if I want to go ahead and stream, I'm going to click start streaming. It's going to say that my meeting started to stream. It actually has not yet. So once that's done, we're going to go back to our Facebook event. We're going to see a preview here. So that's actually what's happening. So what I'm going to do here is now add my post details. So it's going to be, I'm just going to type in test, and I'm going to save that. So you would ideally want to do this before you actually set up your stream. Once that's all set up, all I have to do is go live. So I'm going to click go live, and this is what's really going to start the live stream in Facebook. So it's going to take a few seconds, and then it's actually going to be streaming. So we're live now. You'll see all your insights here. And then once you're finished, you can just go ahead and end the live video. We're going to keep it live in the Facebook group, so we're not going to delete that or anything. You could save or edit any settings that you want, but essentially you could just return home. And once you're back in the group, just give it a second, and that will typically just pop up after a few seconds. And that's all you got to do. Let me know if you have any questions.
Hi.
What's going on, supermodel?
Yeah, so I did the whole thing, but Robert kind of like missed a few steps with me. Like he didn't watch the whole video, so there were a few more steps to make. So I went. Oh, Robert.
Yeah?
Oh, I thought it was Mike. Listen, we didn't finish it.
What's going on?
Robert, so it looked like I was live, but there was more steps. We had
Okay.
to do 2 more steps, so I didn't know. So I just told everyone 3 o'clock. I went live, and then it didn't go. So thank God I recorded it. But
Perfect. Okay. So let me see here. Do you have Team Viewer back up?
yeah, let me bring it up. Team viewer. I should have said, oh no, okay, team viewer. I think we were like, oh, we did it, but we didn't. Okay. Okay.
471-627-969.
That's it. Yep.
Password?
3GC 3CPQ8.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna need you to repeat that. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
3G. It looks like, let me see, C, or is that O? You know what? I have contacts on, so I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it and make it bigger because I can't tell. Control V. Oh, my Lord. It won't let me copy it. Hold on. Team viewer.
You can always take a picture and text it to me.
All right, here we go. Oh my God, what a day. Okay. Copy. Access credentials, copy to the clipboard. So here we go. Okay. Okay, now I got it. 3GC 3CQ sorry, it shut down. 3GC 3CQP8.
K as in kangaroo, 8, the number 8.
Yes. Cat Queen Peter 8.
Okay, I'm sorry. CG3.
No, 3GC
3GC.
3CQ
3CQ.
P8.
P as in Paul,
8.
There we go. Okay. Let me see what's going on.
All right.
So we go back here.
Yeah. So I think, so it said,
It's a live stream in Facebook and to your Facebook group. So I'm just gonna go and grab the link here and I'm gonna type that and I'm going to save it. So now if I want to go ahead and stream, I'm gonna click start streaming. It's gonna say that my meeting started to stream. It actually has not yet. So once that's done, we're gonna go back to our Facebook event. We're gonna see a preview here. So that's actually what's happening. So what I'm gonna do here is now add my post details. So it's gonna be, I'm just gonna type in test and I'm gonna save that. So you would ideally wanna do this before you actually set up your stream. Once that's all set up, all I have to do is go live. So I'm gonna click go live and this is what's really going to start the live stream in Facebook. So it's going to take a few seconds and then it's actually going to be streaming. So we're live now.
So very simple, Barry. The only thing the extra that you needed to do was go, let's see here real quick. Where is it? Facebook. We go here. Let me see where was it? It's all the way at the very top. Community home. Leave page.
Yeah.
Here, live video, go live. Okay, so let me see here. We'll need to go into Zoom. There we go. So what we need to do, click here and then start streaming.
And then it said live chat is not available, but I still thought I was live. And I
So
just,
live
yeah,
chat is if you wanted it integrated through Zoom, the chat to show up through Zoom. You don't want that. You want it to show up on Facebook.
right.
So now that we have the live stream running on Zoom, we have to verify it over here on Facebook and then go live. I'm not
Oh,
going to do it now for obvious reasons, but that's what needs to happen. Okay.
oh, I see.
Okay. And you can even see that it's transcribing what's being said on the bottom of the screen there.
And where will the comments go?
The comments will show up on the Facebook side, not on the Zoom side. So you'd have to have Facebook open to see the live comments.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So, for example, when you're streaming across multiple platforms, let's say you're doing YouTube and Facebook at the same time. If you wanted to see the YouTube comments, you'd have to go onto the YouTube stream. And if you wanted to see the Facebook comments, you'd have to go onto the Facebook stream. Okay. Unfortunately, that's the one thing that they haven't really gotten synchronized together yet. But once they have it, I'll definitely keep you updated on that. Okay.
Right. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I should do it again. I just spoke for half an hour. Thank God it was recorded on Zoom. So I could just put the recording up, I guess.
You could do that. That's no problem. You can just say, unfortunately, due to technical issues, there was an issue, but here's the recording. Or you can redo it now and just do the live, and then you could also post the recording and say, hey, here's another version that I did if you guys like it or whatever you would like,
Yeah. So basically, what I'm doing right now, if I just hit go live now, would they see what's happening? Like, would they see what's happening like before that? Because I was biting my nails and stuff.
No, they'll only see up to the moment that you click go live. After that, they will see. So, for example, if you took down a picture from the back wall
Yeah.
and then started the stream, they wouldn't see you taking down the picture.
All right. So maybe I'll just do it again. That took so much effort. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to do it now. Yeah. I can't believe it.
Alrighty, that sounds good.
Oh.
Go ahead, test it out and keep me updated on what's going on. Because if it does end up working, or if there's anything you want me to try to work out for you and get all the kinks out, keep me a note of it for me, okay?
All right. So if I say just now record, then at least I'll have that second recording.
Yeah.
Oh, pause. Oh, I think I did turn on the recording.
Yeah, you've been recording this whole time. So all the instruction that I've given
is recorded.
It was recording. I don't know when you started it, but I did notice it was recording when I joined in.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. So, and so if I want to go, oops.
You're fine. You're good.
Oh, I would just go live over here.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Robert. Thank you.
No problem.
Bye.
If you have any more questions, call me back, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Hey there. Hi.
How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Everything all right. I'm calling you because I'm at the Walmart right here crossing your house. And then we think someone abandoned all dog in here in the front of Walmart.
Oh.
Yeah, like so I can send you some pictures. Maybe you can post it, and then maybe someone can get it.
Yeah, send pictures. Absolutely.
The guy that works on Walmart, he said he's been all day here. he just get a bottle of water and then put it in some like thing to drink.
Oh, it's so sad. This is happening all day, every day.
It is like old. It's fixed already, so it looks like old.
How old do you think?
Um. Yeah, I think it's like around 8 or 9. But they say it's been all day here under the sun. They used to water and food too.
Oh no. Yeah,
Do you want me to send some pictures?
Send pictures. Let's get them posted. Let's see what we could do.
All right, I'm sending the picture right now, and then
Okay.
let me send you the picture right now.
Okay. All right. Listen, I have to go live right now. I'll be free again in like 20 minutes. Okay.
No, I'm sending it just right now.
Okay. But I won't be able to see it for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Hi guys, it's Bari. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Hi guys, it's Bari. This has been crazy all day. It turns out Facebook made a big change about streaming and no one told us. And so we got it fixed and I went live, but it still didn't stream. But I believe that it's working right now and I am so excited. So I did the whole presentation for you guys and only to discover it didn't go. But now I can see that it is going. I am so excited. So if you're here with me today, I have a fantastic topic for you. And so while people are joining and getting notified, I want to introduce myself. We have so many new people in the community. My name is Bari Lyman, and I'm the creator of Meet to Marry, Get Unstuck in Love, which is a transformational dating method that permanently removes unconscious and conscious blocks to love so that you can summon your soulmate. And there's nothing more wonderful than doing that as an empowered person. And today, what I'm going to share with you is really all about that comes out of my own life experience of being stuck in this situation of being very optimistic. And luckily, it worked out in that I figured it out, and I've been married to my soulmate now for 19 years. And so, as we kick this off, who's here with me? I'd love to see a comment. Tell me if you're excited about this topic, about changing your reality in dating. I do believe I will see comments. Can you see this? And I hope that we can, because Facebook changed everything. Okay. So what I want to talk to you about is moving away from one perspective when it comes to love and moving into another. And you might say to yourself, Bari, what's wrong with being optimistic? Isn't it a good thing? And to that I say, optimism, healthy optimism is a really good thing. And there's nothing wrong with it. But today, I want to talk to you about a different kind of optimism that really does keep us from love. And again, I'm sharing today from my personal experience and from the experiences of, nearly 1,000 people that I've helped to break out of this way of thinking and into a much healthier way of thinking. So who's excited? Yay! Awesome. All right. Okay, but Leora, welcome, but you have your own way of thinking that isn't working. So we want to have a really beginner's mindset with this. Okay, so I'm going to give you, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my dating history. So the way I grew up, I had quite a bit of trauma. My father was bipolar. My mother was very much in the box. And I did not get my needs met. And it was not a healthy upbringing. And it was sad. And it was one that didn't really teach me, it didn't model good love for me or good self-worth. So I started therapy at 12 years old. And I'd always been around it because I was optimistic and I hoped that my life could be better. And so when I went out to find love, the first person I dated was handsome, charming, successful. But guess what? Because I didn't know what I was doing, he turns out to be a closet drug addict, right? Addicted. And there are many warning signs. But while I saw them, I kind of was delusionally optimistic about it. And that's what I want to talk to you about, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk to you about what it means to be in an optimism that is not healthy and that is delusionally optimistic. Delusional optimism is when you just feel like I'm such a good person and I'm a spiritual person. Why can't I just find someone who's like this, and this? How many of you have heard yourself saying stuff like that? I'm a decently good looking person, right? But then you say to yourself, most people who are in this paradigm, it has to work out. I'm so good. I'm spiritual. It just has to. I know it will. Here's a problem with that. The problem is that the thinking is kind of delusional and it's rooted in just nothing, like no plan, like magical thinking. And love doesn't work that way. So when you think of your career and you think of maybe your health and you think of your friends and you think of other things that you've accomplished, like in your career, did you just say, oh, it'll just work itself out. Like I'll learn everything I need to learn and it'll just happen. Or I'll just lose 20 pounds. It'll just melt off because I'm a good person. Right? You see how um that is not a healthy way to go. And there's a reason why we become delusionally optimistic. We become delusionally optimistic because we so crave and we so want and we feel like it's just going to be like it'll just have to. And that way of being, oh please, like, it'll just be good, it'll work out. Like, what does that remind you of? That it's like a little girl, it's like a little boy, like, oh, it'll just happen. But it really doesn't ever work that way. And so what happens is that we get into bad relationships or we make choices in love that are rooted in nothing, non-starters. And then we wonder, why did I get divorced? So after divorce, after breakups, after saying, oh, but I'm so this, like, why can't I just find? The reason is because we're not prepared. We have no real clue because of the modeling that we didn't get, because of the hurts that we've had. We put up these walls of protection, and then we all want to look good. Want to look good in the world. I want people to like me. I don't want to make it seem like there's something wrong with me. But unfortunately, that in and of itself is repelling to what love is. You know, love is easy. Love is, and I'm going to talk about that. Love just is comes from like a different perspective, a higher vibration. So what I want you to notice is where in your life have you been delusionally optimistic? Or on the other side, saying things like, oh, I'd rather be alone than in another bad relationship. Or I don't need anyone, you know? So what happens when we say those things is that, again, it's like the other side of delusional optimism is like avoidance. And so what happens is that we're leading ultimately from a place of this big gap. I want this thing. I really want it, but I'm like over here, like really stuck. And we don't have like a plan to get from point A to point B. And ultimately, to continue my story, I stayed in a bad relationship, which is what many people do, many high achievers, is that you stay because you want to fix it, you want to make it right, and you've already invested a year, so why not another 2 years? And then you end that and you're heartbroken, and you're like, how did that happen? And then you do it again, right? We all tend to repeat patterns. And I had to go through the next bad relationship that wasn't with a drug addict, but it was with someone who didn't share my core values, didn't share my religion, there was not going to be a future. And then another emotionally unavailable person, and then another narcissist. And then you guys say to me, oh, I don't like the men online. Ew, the men online. I'd rather meet organically. But guess what? The same people online are the same people you're meeting organically because we're always attracting what we believe, what we feel we deserve, even if it's unconscious. So when we're like, ew, online, I was online, so I figure there have to be other amazing people online. Like it's silly. Like, oh, you're going to meet people at Starbucks and they're going to be healthy versus people online or not. And if you look at your relationships, you can meet organically and it's the same thing. So the point really is I know I could not get out of that first relationship. It was so hard for me to get out of the second relationship. It was so hard for me to get out of the next relationship. Why? Because I wore rose-colored glasses. That's what I did. And I was delusionally optimistic, like, oh, it'll change. He'll get better, or it'll work out. It has to. Delusion, rose-colored glasses. And then we can come out of it and feel like a victim. Ooh. And that too, victim is very repelling to love. Ew. Right? We don't want to be like a victim. We want to, and the truth about rose-colored glasses is I was too afraid to get out of these relationships. I really was. Will I meet better? Is it me? I'm going to be alone. And I didn't project that, but that was the truth. So what we want to do is get into a much more reality-based way of looking at ourselves and looking at love. That makes all the difference, because if we're wearing rose-colored glasses, we're not seeing things as they really, really are. And then there's another camp that is just avoidant and shut down, totally shutting down your biggest dreams. I have people, they tell me, I really want a family. I really want a husband and a baby. And then what do they do about it? Nothing. They go to work. They just work endlessly when you're missing out on the biggest dream because of this. It's almost like delusional negativity. Let's call it that. That's self-protection. Like, I don't believe anything will work for me. I have trust issues. And what that does is it puts you in a prison of 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 it's like you're locking yourself in a prison because love is not a prison. Right? The world is so beautiful and open and expansive. And with all the trauma in the world today, with hostages and hate and all the terrible things that are happening, it's really important to look at the gap between where you are and where you want to be and say to yourself, well, if I'm a teacher, if I'm a yoga instructor, if I'm a project manager, if I'm a lawyer, if I'm whatever you are, you didn't delusionally say, well, I'm not going to get a good job because I don't believe I can get a new job, or I'm not going to do that. Maybe you did, but if you look at where you are today, you took steps. You became willing. But we think in love that we should know how to do this thing. But I want to give you some peace of mind that how could you possibly know how to do this thing? We go out, we go on dates. Like, when should I tell the person that I'm marriage minded? Or how soon? Or how would I know if that's my person? Because there's a plan and you can know how to do those things. So when you don't know how to do those things, it's just a disaster. And then that's where the delusion comes in. Oh, it'll have to work itself out. Or I want this, but I'm not going to go for it. Or I'm too scared. I won't trust. So, what I want you to know is that you deserve love, and that I want you the takeaway today is a few things. Number one, notice where you are being not in reality about your situation, right? Be honest. Do you like your situation? Most people who are here put in the group, when I ask on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your dating going? 0, 1, 2, 0, 3. I just want to meet quality people. I just want to identify how to do this, how to stop meeting men who only want to have sex with me. Right? You want to have information, you want to learn, or obviously you wouldn't be here. So the first step is get into reality about your situation. Where are you lying to yourself that you want something, but you're not willing to tell the truth about it? I have clients that they were in relationships for a year, 2 years, 3 years, when they knew it wasn't working, just like me. Oh, we'll go to therapy, or we'll do this and it'll work itself out. Or we're going to read a book. It's very rare that these things change the fundamental dynamics of what goes into good conscious love. So be honest. That's what happens. I got honest with myself after the last narcissist. I decided no more. I was treated worse. Like, we all have to hit bottom to make change. Let's face it. It's not till you have like a scare with your health that we change our diet for the most part, right? And with love, it's not until we're sick of it. The next breakup, the next holiday, the next season, alone. But you don't need to be. So be honest. We have a mantra. We have mantras in our Clear Path to True Healthy Love program. And those mantras are not like optimism. Oh, think good and it'll be good. It'll work itself out. It has to. Mm-mm. It's rooted in healthy thinking that we did not learn growing up. No, we didn't. I know I loved being around personal growth. I did Tony Robbins. I did all of Landmark. I did all those things. I did therapy. But I would go home alone, or back to bad relationship. So when I realized none of those things gave me a plan, then I realized this delusional optimism, even when someone said, Bari, I don't think I'm going to get married for 5 years. And even then, I'd be like, it's okay. It's okay. Hello, who was the real problem? Who was emotionally unavailable, truly? Me. So when I got honest and I realized, geez, I don't know what I'm doing here. I knew what I needed to do as an entrepreneur, but I didn't know what I needed to find good love. So who can relate? Who can relate to that? Who's willing to just be honest? It's just to yourself. So we have a mantra and it's called reality. Don't leave home without it. Because that is what I needed to realize, I could make the changes. I could figure it out. Someone could show me. I could do it differently. It's about getting out of that box. And then you're able to take off I was able to take off those rose-colored glasses, which really do not allow us to tell the truth. It's like we see what we want to see, which is often reminiscent of childhood. And number two, to write down for yourself, how it feels to either be in delusional optimism or delusional negativity. Because when you're negative, you're like, nothing's going to work. I won't trust anyone. I can't make this happen for myself. Even though it happened for other people, it's not going to happen for me. That is really wrong thinking. That's thinking rooted in shame. They both are. I got to look good. It'll just work itself out. Or no. So let's get out of both of them. Let's be honest and write down how we feel, how all this really makes us feel. These things that we tell ourselves, and having a gap between your dream that you're diminishing by being small, by playing small, by not being in reality about what really is possible. And I will tell you right here, right now, that healthy love is available for anyone and everyone. And there's my husband through all these challenges today. He's like, let's get a techie. Let's get this fixed, right? Taking care of me, being warm with me, to have someone to plan with and to live with is amazing. So here's what I want you to know. How do I know it's possible for everyone? Because everyone deserves love because you were born for it. And I live in a world of infinite possibility because I believe in you. That is why we're here. Whether we work together or not, I believe in you. And every day, literally every day, I get texts like this. And I'm going to share with you, not to brag or show off, but to show you what is possible. Here's a woman who thought she was cursed. Literally, she thought she was cursed. Good morning, Bari. It is me. I am texting you to inform you that I found healthy love. Yes. Since February 4th, I am happy, fulfilled, and effortlessly thriving. Thank you, Bari. All you teach is pure reality, and it has happened for me. Thank you. I thank the universe. I saw it manifesting, and boom, it was here. The universe at work. God bless you, Bari. I'm so happy. Gratitude. So we'll share her story. But I could share with you. We could sit here and I could share all the stories. But that's not what it's about. It's about your love story. It's about your love story. And so just to say, this is about heart set, mindset, skill set. And I want you to put into practice what you learned today. And if you want someone to help you to put it into practice, we have a program called The Clear Path to True Healthy Love. And if you want to learn more about, I'd love to get to know you, whether or not we work together. But it's about having a plan, and high achievers tend to like to plan. They like set a goal. I want to lose 20 pounds. And this is what happens. I'm going to clean out all the crap in my house. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to change my mindset. And I'm going to do this amount of lifting. And I'm going to, you have a plan. And you come into it. And that's what this is like. It's like love school. And so if you're interested in having someone hold your hands and be accountable and have community that's doing it with you, where it's all about redefining your view of love, redefining your view of yourself, then I'd love to invite you to work with us by just setting up a connect call. And we're going to put a link, meetsmary.com/clarity session. Right? Yeah, we're going to put the link. My team is with me and we'll put the link up. So in closing, 1, you deserve love. 2, get out of delusional optimism and get into a healthy perspectives that allow you to be seen, really seen, right? And then write down what it's really costing you and how it feels to be pushing aside your dreams for any reason, any reason at all, because you deserve it. Everyone deserves it. You're born to be loved. And good love is just healing in and of itself. You feel better, all those things. So if you enjoy this, please invite your friends. Please invite your friends. Out there, we're learning how to, flirt, how to be more goddess-like, get the chase, all this crazy stuff. Or it'll happen when it happens. And what's out there is crazy. You see how superficial it all is. I read last night that the Golden Bachelor, after 3 months, is getting divorced. It was all PR, right? Divorce, 3 months, that's what marriage is. It was just, right? They're getting divorced because there's a foundational way of dating where you're having the right conversations. You're inviting in only the right people. That you're on the same page, not by just words, but by actions. And you're not just, oh, how will I know? Because you're aligned, you're congruent with having love. Totally, with healthy love that you didn't know before. So with that, please invite your friends. Come every Wednesday. I'm probably going to move it to 1 o'clock. And I just want you to know that I believe in you. And I believe that you can really have what you want. And you deserve to have what you want. So my heart goes out to you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. And I will see you next week.